Any initial thoughts that come up when you think of leadership?
What you're saying is hitting quite hard. The first thing that comes to my mind is the opposite, or to me, I mean, this is obviously a personal view, but I think of Trump's lack of leadership. Although in some respects he's an executor, but I personally don't see him as a leader. So he's something that comes up for me, but not as a good example of leadership. Certainly as someone who can stir up crowds and get people to listen to him. But that's, I don't know. He pops into my head.
Especially at an international level. And I love that you brought in the US because they do sort of set the tone for a lot of things around the world, and who the leader is there matters to some degree. And a lot of people have a lot to say about Trump, about Malema, about Dozie, about Zuma, just all these leadership figures and faces. And this episode looks at the kind of leadership we need to cultivate and reawaken today as we take the driver's seat in our lives, in our families, in our organizations, in our teams, in our communities, and the nation of Umzansi, or beyond, right? Because it's quite a relevant topic globally. And when we look at a national level, we are faced with a lot of leadership challenges, right? There's a lot of global erosion of trust in leadership across different sectors. You've already mentioned Trump there when it comes to political instability in the US, the fall of corporate giants as well, like Enron and many others. There's a lot of skepticism towards leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic as well, when a lot of things were just exposed in terms of well-being, decision-making, and that sort of thing. And when we look at Edelman's trust barometer, which shows that trust in government, business, and even in non-profits is at an all-time low. So with these crises and even the new GNU when it comes to South Africa, corporate scandals, business failures, ESCOM, load shedding, all of these things, both in the public and private sector. But also when we look at social movements, fees must fall, all these things that need to address inequality, unemployment, youth empowerment, well-being, and all of that sort of shows that socially, there's a lot of challenges that confront leadership. And at the moment, these failures at an individual psychological level, when you look at your psychological well-being, it creates a widespread feeling of helplessness, of anxiety, feeling disconnected,